This is Carlos Montero from the field. Like I told you before, there were no matches today, so it was a good time for the fans to try to visit Doha, to go to the cultural part, to the museum, and that's what exactly Charlie Montero did. Let's see what he find out.
Qatar surprises you the second you arrive to the airport with monumental works of art, like the 7-meter tall bear sculpted in bronze that sits peacefully inside a lamp. The work of the Swiss-born contemporary visual artist Urs Fischer tries to move travelers with lovely objects from childhood or home.
That caused a lot of fuss at the beginning, and that's kind of the first taste of public reaction. Why would you spend that much of amount on a teddy bear? Well, how does this relate to Doha? This has nothing to, no context to us, but today, if you look at it, you think Qatar.
The idea is that art should envelop visitors from the moment they arrive to Doha until they eventually return home. In the arrival concourse at the Hamad International Airport, the work Untitled by Italian artist Rudolf Stingel portrays Qatar as a small country aspiring to be big. Stingel covered 3 surfaces with reflective aluminum face insulation panels before inviting members of the construction team at the HIA to draw on the soft walls at the time of the airport's construction. The walls were then cast in copper and electroplated with gold before a number of pieces were selected for permanent display at the airport.
Art is part of every society, and at any part of history there is art. But for Qatar's contemporary art, I would say it boomed in the last 10 years. And especially in the last 5 years, it had a very significant boom.
Qatar was one of the first states in the Persian Gulf to promote a public art program. Today, it has more than 100 monument sculptures and light installations. But the football festival incorporated another 40 pieces, a treasure that are not only within the cultural institutions, but can even be found in Public Plaza or the metro station. They can also be found in a commercial area or in the desert itself.
This is the time to think about that. And we are in the World Cup. The World Cup is a time to think about the world, not just about think about who is going to win and who is going to play great football. Of course, I love to play football, and I like to see it too, you know. But I think nowadays there's a new game, a more important game, because now we have the understanding of the whole planet. And I think this is a moment, important moment to think about all of it.
Along with Qatari artists from all over the Middle East and the rest of the world, this Brazilian and Lebanese-American creator, Simon Fattal, exhibits their works in desert areas of northern Qatar, on the outskirts of the Al Subra heritage sites in Ain Mohammed.
So this is a chant. A chant is a prayer. It's a prayer for a new time. It's a prayer for a new earth. It's a prayer for a new humanity. Humanity with more gentleness to each other and also to the planet.
If the idea was to impress the world, then that was achieved by the English artist Damien Hirst with his controversial installation of 14 sculptures. Its 20 million value seems like nothing compared to the 20 billion invested in the Sidra Medical and Research Center in Doha, the first in the region focused solely on the health of women and children. This work, the first nude sculpture in the Middle East, tells the extraordinary story of the reproductive process, starting from the sperm, the egg cell, and the embryo, all the way to a 14-meter tall bronze baby that weighs 216 tons, that invites you to reflect on life.
Qatar 2022 was the only World Cup that was celebrated in a Muslim country, and the Arabic world is paying extremely attention to what's going on here. And so far they are really happy with the situation, and they are thinking about what they are going to do in the next tournament, like the Asian Cup. Saudi Arabia also expecting to have one day have the chance to be the host of a World Cup like Qatar is doing this time. Let's see that story.
In this sense, Japan, South Korea, and Australia, which although belonging to Oceania participates in the Asian Football Confederation qualifiers, have been the main protagonists with results that leave many astonished. Japan was crowned group leader after defeating high-caliber teams such as Germany and Spain by 2-1 in both games. The Tiger Warriors were able to send Uruguay home and finish second after beating Portugal 2-1, while the Socceroos likewise took second place just behind France after defeating Denmark 1-0 in a defining match. The level of Asian teams has risen exponentially with respect to previous World Cups, as so far only 2 teams from that continent had been able to reach the round of 16 on 2 occasions. In the tournament, held between Korea and Japan in 2002, the Koreans managed to defeat Italy 2-1 in the round of 16 and Spain in the quarterfinals, before losing to the Germans, while the Blue Samurai did not get beyond the round of 16, falling behind Turkey 2-1. In South Africa 2010, neither team managed to advance beyond the round of 16, being eliminated by the South American giants Uruguay and Paraguay respectively. Among the main figures on the Japanese side, Takumi Minamino stands out, a player who has achieved several success with Liverpool and is a key player of the Japanese national team. On the Korean side, Son Heung-min emerges as one of the most prominent stars of Asian soccer, with important results in clubs such as Tottenham, which have enabled him to rise as captain and unquestionable leader of the South Korean national team.
Japan and Korea, they did a fantastic World Cup. They did great, the 2 teams. But what's going on here in Qatar 2022? The Arab world is paying special attention to the organization of this World Cup because they know they have to show the world that in Asia there is good in football. In the Muslim world, they play football too. Saudi Arabia is thinking that maybe they are going to one day be able to be a host of a World Cup. Let's see the story.
The president of the United Arab Emirates visited Doha this week. In the first such visit since Saudi Arabia and 3 allies ended the boycott of Doha nearly 2 years ago, praising the hosting of the World Cup in Doha as a success for all Arabs. And he congratulated Qatar for hosting the FIFA World Cup. Saudi Arabia is now the sole bidder for the 2017 Asian Cup and is evaluating bids to host the 2030 World Cup, alongside Egypt and Greece. The 2017 Asian Cup will become the 4th of 5 editions to be held in the Arabian Gulf region. Qatar also hosted in 2011, and the United Arab Emirates organized the 2019 tournament. Qatar, which hosts the ongoing World Cup, has already organized the Asia Cup twice. Qatarian authorities believe the 2022 FIFA World Cup Qatar presents an opportunity for Africa and the Middle East to learn lessons about the mega events and football. The experience and knowledge of Qatar during the 12 years of preparation for the tournament will be useful for capacity building in the development of football in those regions.
At the beginning of the show, we asked you for a trivia. The question today was, when was the last time Portugal faced Switzerland in a World Cup? The answer is Switzerland defeat 2-1 to Portugal in 1938. Let's see the context of that match.
In 2018, during the FIFA World Cup celebrated in Russia, Brazil and Uruguay reached the quarterfinals. However, both were eliminated in that stage. This time, Brazil is again in the quarterfinals, but the other is Argentina. In 2018, the 5-time champions of the world lost against Belgium 2-1, and the 2-time champions could not face France, and the current champions beat them 2-0. In 4 years, things have changed a lot. This time, they are favorites to advance to the next round. Brazil will face Croatia, the current runner-up, and Argentina will face Netherlands. In case of a victory for the Latin American teams, they will fight for the pass to the final in the semifinals.
let's stay here in social media, Twitter. You have to complete the sentence. The sentence was, we will see on December with Charlie Montero. Very happy Messi. Tai Caliado, Brazil lift the cup. David Soritz, Ronaldo lifting the cup. The one I like the best so far is Charlie Montero. Very happy Messi. Let's hope for this. Let's see how they do on Friday. That was all for today. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Hasta mañana, amigos.